One of the hardest things to actually do is detach from the money. And I think that's what a lot of people struggle with. And it's what I used to struggle with. So hopefully what I'm about to tell you guys, it'll open your eyes enough for you to be able to actually take that risk. So if you already took the risk and wanted to get into day trading as a whole, you're already taking that risk. So why would you chicken out and not put money on the line or I guess hesitate, do all of those common mistakes? There's no point in doing that. You're already taking that risk. Okay, but at the end of the day, I used to genuinely struggle with just simply not taking the risk, not putting money on the table, chickening out, under risking, doing all of that. And what honestly really opened my eyes is there is no such thing as not failing. There's no such thing. It is impossible for you to just not fail. You're eventually going to fail and you're going to keep failing. And what matters more than failure is being able to get up 7, 8, 9, 10 times and keep going. You got to want this bad enough. If you want to be a day trader, probabilities are super low, right? But at the end of the day, if you keep going, you can't fail. You can't, right? You're going to fail along the way 100%. But if you keep going, the end is not failure. The end will end up leading you to success. It's just how many times can you take failure and continuously get up and continuously work? A big part of trading is mindset. It's psychology. And not letting that affect you, being able to continuously follow your rules, follow your strategy, put money on the line, learn from your mistakes, look at risk management, and keep making tweaks. Like I said, you're going to fail along the line, right? But when you expect it and you know failure is unavoidable, it becomes so much easier to put money at risk. It becomes so much easier to just think clearly. Because at the end of the day, trading is one of the hardest professions, not because majority of people lose, but because everyone works a job or everyone owns a business for money. What's the difference between a business or a job and trading? Well, the main difference is you see that money go up and go down. The money everybody in this world works for. You see it go up and down in front of your eyes. That is what makes it the hardest profession. Because what doctors, what surgeons, all those people work for money. And at the end of the day, you're seeing it go up and down in front of your eyes. Right? You're seeing, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, or even 500, or even 200, whatever level you're at, you see that money go up and down. And that is more issues on your psychology than you can ever ask for, because what you're seeing go up and down is your end goal, right? It's what you're working for. It's what everybody in this world works for. And you're just seeing it constantly move up and down within candlesticks. And it becomes dopamine. And it becomes, holy shit, I can get rich off of this. And then you get absolutely screwed. But the minute you are very selective with your mouse clicks. You are very selective with clicking that buy or sell button and only actually caring about what your system says, what your system does, and what your risk management is. It changes the game forever. It makes it easy to put money on the table. Because I can promise you, your psychology is not going anywhere. You're a human fucking being, right? Your psychology is not going anywhere. There is no trading like a robot. But what I can tell you is you can dim down your emotions so that you're just caring about the setups instead of the actual monetary outcome. Because at the end of the day, even if you make $5,000 in a day, is that really enough for you to retire? Fuck no. You have to be able to do that consistently. Okay, so 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 still isn't even enough in a day to retire you, right? You have to be able to do this consistently. One lucky shot for 30K isn't going to do shit. I'm sorry to break it to you, but it's not going to do shit. You have to be able to do that consistently. And once you do it consistently, you crack the code and forever don't have to work a job for the rest of your life. And it's really as simple as that. And that's the difference between trading and everything else, is because there's so much psychology in it. And it's not that it's a hard profession in terms of clicking a buy or sell button. In fact, that's the easiest thing to fucking do in the world. You click a button and it does whatever it wants you to do. The hard thing is the psychology. The hard thing is seeing that money go up and down. Shit that you've worked previously so hard for. Right? Shit that everyone in this world works hard for. And you just see it go up and down. At the end of the day, you have to be able to control your emotions, and you have to be able to risk properly and only care about the setups. Because I promise you, backtest your strategy. Figure out what you need to do right. Figure out what you're doing wrong. Figure out what you're doing right. Right? Do all of these different things. Collection is so important in trading. It's so important because how are you going to know what you're doing wrong if you're not journaling? Right? And at the end of the day, you have to detach from the money, like I've been saying this entire video. Right? It's so important to detach from the money and just care about the setups. Okay? And what I want you to do, funded account or live account, whatever you're on, bro, block out the balance if you're struggling with, money. If you're struggling with detaching from the money, just blur out your total balance and just only care about the setups you're taking and only have a specific amount of risk tolerance per trade and only do that. And do that for a month and see what ends up happening. Because I can promise you, I bet 80% of you people who do that will end up becoming profitable off of this month. Like, you will be up this month. I can promise you that. Because it just proves so much that, like, the money means way too much to you guys than it should be. Right? I get it. If money wasn't a thing in trading, no one would be doing it, right? But it is a thing in trading, and you have to be able to accept that. And since it is a thing in trading, you have to detach from it, right? It's how you work. I mean, okay, guys, let me give you this analogy too. Okay, so in trading, it's more of, like I said, following your system, proper risk management, only caring about the trades you take. If you took a bad trade and it was a win, you should be slapping yourself across the head. If you took a good trade and it was a win and it was a loss, then you should still be happy about it because you're following your rules, you're following your data. That's all that matters in trading. Who cares about losing or winning, right? I guess it's an ego thing. You never want to end off with a loss. But you know what happens? When you end up with a loss and you're able to walk away from the charts, you ended up taking a win at the end of the day. The win was walking the fuck away. When the market wants you to keep trading, you walk the fuck away, and that is your win, right? You have too much of an ego because you never want to lose. But if you look at it as the market wants you to just blow as much money as possible. The market wants you to place as much trades as possible because the market knows it will take that shit right back from you. You'll have a bunch of money packed up in your hands, right? And the market will come and take that shit right back because you want more and you want more and you want more. The win is walking away when it makes sense to. The win is following your strategy. The win is trading boring as fuck. Once trading gets boring and it's not this dopamine hit and it's just boring as shit because you're just doing the same thing every single fucking day, that's when everything changes. Stop going for dopamine. Stop trying to get rich quick. This is something that takes time, but it's also something that you can forever change your life on if you just look at it with the right perspective. Right? If you know your strategy is an 80% win rate, why the fuck would you take anything outside of what your strategy is? It makes no sense. You know you consistently make 80% a month, right? 80% win rate a month. You only place trades that you would backtest or that your data tells you to. Why would you just say, oh, I'm just going to randomly take a trade, right? That's just fucking up your statistic, right? Because what happens when you consistently make 80% a month, or let's say even 70, 75, 80% a month, in that range? What happens as you make more money? You're able to risk more money in order to actually make even more money, right? With that 70 to 80% win rate, it's just continuously piling up. And as you get experience, you get better discretion, potentially raising that win rate even more, right? So worry about your system, your strategy, because as you continue to prove yourself, you increase the risk, which continues that same win rate and just makes you more money. Trading is infinitely scalable. You can scale it to an infinite amount of money if you actually know what you're doing, if you actually know your strategy works, if you actually have that data to back it up. Fuck what everyone else says on TikTok. Fuck all the people saying this shit doesn't work, this shit doesn't work. Stop listening to that bullshit. They're doing it for views. Think about yourself, care about yourself, and take your own data. The day trading niche is cutthroat as fuck. Right? No one likes each other in the day trading niche. It's sad as fuck. I mean, you go to like TikTok affiliate, they're all like hyping each other up. You go to day trading and it's just cutthroat. This guy's a scammer, this guy's a scammer. Oh, LARP this, LARP that. Like, shut the fuck up. Worry about yourself. Day trading is about yourself and your own data. So worry about that and stop doom scrolling on day trading TikTok so they can sit here and farm more views off of you and get you heated so that you just don't actually take action. You take action now, you detach from the money, and you prove it to yourself that it works, and everything will play out in your favor. And you can make and scale to a fuck ton of money. It's infinite. So that's all I wanted to hop on here and talk to you guys about. Just detach from that money, man. prove that strategy to yourself and stop being afraid to risk money, because there is no such thing as not failing.